Let's go.
Yeah.
I wasn't here last session, so don't blame me.
Well, it wasn't all that eventful or exciting. The party returned to the pyramid to talk to the archaeologists. The conversation kind of went in circles about how we needed to get our reputation up. And the leader of the archaeologists was very confused on the name, but she gave up arguing that point when the Leonin dude in the forge room shouted in Elvish that he liked it. So she explained we need to get our reputation up high enough so that we can get an audience with the king of this kingdom, and that she wasn't even sure if the king was alive because nobody's seen him or his wife in a while because they've got some mysterious disease and they've basically quarantined themselves in the palace. And then she's like, okay, you gotta do some shopping for us because we need supplies. But we decided to spend the night in the pyramid before heading out in the morning to go do the menial shopping tasks for them. Um, Cola and Rain properly introduced themselves to the alchemists, and Yanni made a couple more potions of healing in the lab. Yuna had an intense staring contest with the statue of the Guardian. She won because he didn't respond. Uh, we packed up pretty much in the morning and headed out. And it was Lily and Yanni who were kind of in charge of talking to the shopkeep and went into this general place for supplies. Met this tabaxi swindler named Mike. Paid probably way too much for the mediocre supplies that we were getting. Rain almost paid way too much for some basic supplies, but changed his mind at the last second. Then we headed to the blacksmiths where two Goliaths were working, and they immediately told us that we should go to any other shopkeep but Mike, because he was a scoundrel. And Rain got the supplies he wanted there, some of them. And they pointed us in the direction of a tavern. And as we were headed that way, Una tried to reverse pickpocket gold into Rain's pocket to foot the cost of his supplies. She got caught, though. But she convinced him to take it anyways. And he offered to pay for the drinks once we got to the tavern. And we ended the session basically when we arrived at the tavern.
All right. Let's not forget that Yanni did stay at the blacksmith. I believe he wanted to do something there as well. So, do you guys want, well, Yanni, do you want us to deal with your thing before we move to the tavern?
No, 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 no. You can deal with the tavern first, and then we can do something quick for me.
All right. So you guys walk to the tavern. You see engraved in the wall with a sort of golden hinge on the letters, Twins Delight. Now, already from the outside, you can hear that this tavern is pretty active. There's quite a lot of noise going on inside. People are laughing, cheering. It sounds like a good time in there. Not like the previous Three Hammer Tavern that you visited, where it was kind of mediocre. People were there just to drink. This one sounds like it's a proper party. I'm assuming you all go inside? I'll take that as a yes. All right. So you all head inside the tavern, and already you can see that this place is far more fancier, far more decorative than the Three Hammered Tavern. You see patrons sitting around everywhere. I didn't have enough tokens for every single table, but I'll say that these two tables are free. And this place is busy. As you walk in, tiefling a tiefling at the counter kind of greets you all, just shouting over the massive noise. Hello! Welcome to Twins Delight. I'll be with you guys in a moment, so please just take a seat. And she just tries to deal with the current customer that she has.
Oh, this place looks amazing. Oh, let's go grab that blue table over there.
Yes.
Alright. The three dolls, not knowing what to do, just kind of stand by waiting for orders. As you all take your seats, the tiefling who had greeted you quickly hurries over after serving the dwarf at the bar. She seems to have a sort of a joyous energy about her as she almost skips towards your table. It's like, hello, how may I help you?
So are we getting drinks?
Of course. Is there anything in particular this interesting group would like?
Some ale for me. Just very simple for me.
Alright, we've
It's the
got.
rest of the party.
You wouldn't happen to do any brandies here?
Oh, we do almost everything that you can think of.
Oh, wonderful. Well, what about sake? Have you got any, the rice wine? I have not managed to find much around here.
Oh, we do, but I must warn you, it is a bit on the expensive side.
Well, that's all right. I'll just have one shot of that, thank you. And what's everyone else getting? Oh, these are first round is on me, I think. And he's still not too sure about the conversion rate.
Alright. She turns her gaze to the rest of you. I'll say that Lily just orders a simple ale as well. Uh,
A great cola will take. What? Rain to.
Alright, so one shot. And you, ma'am, she speaks directly to you, Ayuna. You you can tell that she is a little disturbed, but it's a quick like oof shiver, and she just ignores it.
Una will raise a hand and shake her head. Nothing for me. Thank you, though.
Very well, I will be back momentarily. If my sister comes by, just tell her that you've already been served. And again, she does a 360 spin and realizes that she's facing you guys again. It's like, oh, sorry. Does a 180 this time and goes back to the bar to get your drinks.
She seems a bit of a clumsy one.
Do you think she's one of the twins? I don't see any twins in here, and he's just looking around, trying to peer towards the bar.
Yeah, I'll also be looking around.
Alright, can you both make me a perception check? Okay, that's nice, nice, nice. Oof. All right.
Enjoying.
So, Rain, for you, this tavern is just too bustling for you to actually notice people, as people are just walking back and forth, left, right, and center. You do catch some people laughing after one of the friends at the table makes a pretty impactful joke. And there's just too much activity going on for you to actually pick out certain faces and trying to spot anyone else.
Yeah, he
But
forgets about looking for the twins completely. He's just distracted by a million other things.
but Ninaran, for you, with your ranger eye, you know how to stay focused. You know how to pinpoint certain details about the tavern. And just as a small gap opened, you were able to see another tiefling on the very far end of the tavern.
Yeah, sorry. There you go. Just cross the room at the back of the tavern.
What, the twins?
Yeah, that's what we were looking for, weren't we?
Well, are they? Is that tiefling one of them? I can't seem to see the other one. There's so many people in here. Weird looking folk too. I'm surprised none of them hang out at the other place. What is it? The Three Hammers? That's where I've been drinking lately. I didn't even know this place was here.
Oh, the three hammers is quite shab. This one's quite a fancy place.
And as you say that, you can already see that the twin who did take down your orders is already on her way back with a almost too fancy of a plate that is too large for your kind of order, as it looks like it can fit around about 15 to 20 jugs of ale. And right now there's only one jug and two shots, so it looks a bit too much for what the order was. And as she puts it down on the table, you can see that it actually almost takes up nearly the entire table. All right, here is your two sake shots and your two ales. Is there anything else I can help you guys with?
I think that's all for now. Are we going to open a tab for tonight? I think we're not hanging around too long, are we?
Oh, well, you're always welcome to open a tab. I mean, so long as you pay it back, I see no problem with it.
Well, maybe we'll just pay for these ones now, and then we'll see about opening a tab later. How much do we owe you for these?
All right, so the two sake shots combined is 1 gold piece, and the two ales is 5 silver pieces.
Oh, wonderful! And he'll put 2 gold down on the table and say, and the rest is for you, my dear. Thank you ever so much.
Oh, so kind of you. She gives a small bow and it just quickly hurries off to another table. You can tell that with this place, the owners are too busy to actually stay or chat.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
You seem a bit understaffed.
Are there other waiters in this place, or is it literally just the two tieflings?
You do, I'll say with your 10, you do see other people holding trays with mugs, but it's not as many as you would think that this place would need. So you get the feeling that they are a little bit understaffed.
What are you thinking, Nero? You think we should try and get some waitering jobs?
I can go along quite well on my own. I don't waste time waitering. gesture to the bow that's currently on the floor right now, or leaning against the chair next to me.
Oh, well, fair enough. I'm sure we can get some hunting done. I wouldn't mind some more of those berries of yours, but I suppose we should all. I mean, a pity Yanni's not here, but we should celebrate a little. We've gotten through the first little bit here. Gotten, I think, most of our shopping done so far, and so I'd like to just propose a toast to the Mythfits, and he'll raise his sucker in there.
I'll cheers to that.
May we save the world and not get killed doing it.
May we save the world again.
And probably get very hurt to the process.
Alright. You all make your toast, and we'll move. With that, we'll move quickly to Yanni at the blacksmith. So, Yanni, after the party had left, you were alone with the two Goliaths, the one going back to his work, just hammering down on hot metal, while the other is just waiting for you.
I would be inconveniencing you for a little bit, but I I think it was sort of my fault for well falling to Mike's uh, tricks. We happened to acquire some ores from him, which were rather expensive, and I was wondering if you could ascertain their quality and help me well repair my mistake. Now, like reach inside the like bag of holding and like pull some of the ores that we bought from Mike.
Well, of course I can do that. But to ascertain their quality, I'm gonna need to spend a bit of time with them if you don't mind.
Of course not. Of course not. And obviously, I will make myself useful and help your partner over there. I even if I'm a bit rusty on the metal work and more let's say comfortable with woodwork, I do have some knowledge. And like with the other hand, I'll like pull some smithing tools that I have from the bag of holding.
As you pull out the tools, you notice that the Goliath's face almost seems a bit surprised, as he wasn't expecting a person like you to be familiar with the art of smithing. And so you can just see that he's very, very doubtful of what you're saying.
Uh, I'm very sorry, but I cannot help but read you like an open book. Uh, you noticed my sister previously, the very fancy lady with the very nice cutesy dress, correct?
Um, you mean the one that is a doll?
Uh, yes, the one that is a doll. That was my own creation, and it wasn't purely made out of woodwork. Uh, does have quite a bit of weight to it and quite the durable metal skeleton underneath. So that I think might serve as proof enough.
Roll me a persuasion.
Nope.
Hmm. Hmm. You see as he just constantly stares at you, trying to gauge more. And eventually he just sighs and There, I'm sorry. There is no ways that you did that.
All right. I guess words can never match up to action, so if you'll allow me.
Mm. He thinks for a bit and then he goes to the forge. You see him literally just stick his hand in and pulls out a somewhat hot piece of metal and just quickly drops it on an anvil. You, it's almost as if his hands had been burned too much that he just doesn't mind reaching in. And he just looks at you expectingly. He's like, well,
Just like kind of winces for a bit when the Goliath reaches inside the forge, just, like feeling the burn himself, but recomposes and like pulls out the rest of his smithing stools. Well, don't mind if I do. You'll start getting to work trying to make a I don't know, like a metal spear out of it.
a spearhead.
Yeah, a spearhead, or it's like a thick like chunk of metal that he pulled out.
Yeah, it was literally just a like rectangular bar that he pulled out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So there was no definitive shape to it.
mm-hmm. Mm, could I have a better idea. Could I try to make it, since it's like a bar itself? Could I try to like begin shaping it as a like skeletal structure for a doll, like a hand of a doll?
Hmm. I'll say that you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing your previous history with metalworking, even though majority of it was wood, and the fact that you have almost mastered it, I'll say roll me a performance check with advantage.
Performance. Okay.
All right. So with a 21, you spend roughly an hour or so beating the metal, shaping it, cutting some pieces off, and then reheating, and then a continuous repetitive process such as that. And eventually, after the hour is done, you have made great time considering its metalworking, and to both the Goliath's surprise, you've made a pretty pretty decent skeletal hand for a doll. As they just stare at you and just like, well, you weren't lying.
Of course it was not. And just like pulls out some like twine and string and attaches this to the joints and then to his own like wooden hand and begins to like puppeteer the hand a little bit, just like clenching a fist and opening it and then like waving it at them. It is
Well,
my craft, and I have a great many deal of pride into what I do best.
I can see that. Uh, wow. He's they're both just done.
Well, this is more delicate work, and as I did mention previously, I am more of a woodworking person rather than trying to handle hard metals and trying to work with hot temperatures all the time. So I do, in my own right, envy you for getting the opportunity to make so many things out of so many different metals. Uh, Again, my masterpiece seems to rely with the finer works and details, but I would definitely appreciate some mentorship into discerning different ores, since, well, that seems to have been the issue when we dealt with Mike.
Well, while you were working on this, I'd almost say a masterpiece. My brother here has examined the ores, and most of them are good quality. I will admit there's some that I wouldn't mind buying, but there is two that are fake.
Ah,
And I'm sorry to say, but that is the more expensive ores. So the silver ore that you bought, that's fake.
hmm. Just like leans against like the chair that he probably used to like sit through the whole process. Well, if that is fake, do you have any use for this fake silver of any kind?
Well, the thing is, I, I don't know what he did, but it's such a brittle metal that I don't think we can even heat it up properly and forge it. So one smack and it's just gonna break.
Hmm. It's like nods to himself. Maybe I could make use of such a brittle metal in some other applications, probably alchemy of sorts. But regardless, I think what was requested of us was silver in particular. Um, do you have silver for sale? I definitely have the coin for it.
Or we do, but not a lot of.
Hmm. Like comparatively, how much do they have in like in comparison with what we had bought from Mike?
All right, so you guys bought about 20 pounds of what you thought was silver, but
Mm-hmm.
these guys only have like 5 pounds of it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, this is disheartening for sure. Uh, where do you procure your silver usually?
Um, we mostly get our silver from their lures. I mean, last I remember that our kingdom has a silver mine in the mountains.
And I believe that this silver is brought over naval trade, correct? Via ship?
Yes, yes it is.
I see, I see. Well, since me and my companions helped clear the waters around the port, maybe the trade will, well, quicken, and maybe I could procure some silver. Um, Hmm. Just like thinks to himself for a second. Uh, do you mind if I would ask you to procure some extra for me as well when the shipment comes? I would come around and check regularly, and if you can buy it, I can then buy it off of your hands as well. But since mm, we are probably going to be rather busy ourselves, I'd rather leave this in your hands.
Alright, I can certainly try and do that for you. Um, it is going to be a little bit difficult, but I'll certainly try.
Well, how much gold do you approximate this endeavor will require?
Um, I'd say about 10 gold pieces.
And I like reach inside the bag of holding and pull out 15 gold pieces and
Well,
I
you
present it.
see, yeah, you see, he just like pushes the gold back to you. He's like, you can pay me when we get the war.
Ah, all right, hmm, that is quite kind of you.
Hmm. Well, is there anything else you'd like me to do for you?
Oh, no, no, no. I believe that this has been quite the fruitful endeavor for both of us. So I better get going and rejoin my group before they get into some trouble. But as a sign of my gratitude for this exchange, and he just like extends the doll like skeletal structure. You can keep this as a keepsake or a souvenir or hang it around, whatever you
Uh, I much appreciate that. Thank you. As you see, he just examines it more closely now that he has it.
have. And I'll turn to the other one. Well, I won't take much of your time. So have a good day, and I definitely hope to see you two again. It has been a pleasure.
The pleasure's all ours.
And I walk out and begin to make my way to the tavern where the party is at.
Um, I will say, as you're walking away, you look back and you see the brother of the Goliath just like trying to use the hand as you did, but it's like failing miserably as he's like just trying to wave it, but it's just wobbling all over the place.
I'll just wave back even if he fails, and just kind of like, do I have message? Spells? Fuck, I don't have message. I'll just like kind of yell back. It's like, I'll teach you how to use it next time.
They give you a nod and continue on with their work.
Cool.
All right, we move back to you guys. I see you have started a nice little arson conversation. That is pretty good. Pretty good.
Don't mind us.
Typical table talk. What are you talking about?
Is this not what everyone talks about when you go out drinking? I just theorizing.
As you're talking about arson, I'll say that the couple closest to you overhears and they're like, "Oh fuck! I think we should get out of here." And
I'm
two,
assuming we're whispering this. Well, at least not
oh,
talking loudly in a loud tavern.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of assumed you said there was like a party going on in here, that
hmm.
there's probably not too many people paying attention to us. So yeah, we'll wave if I notice them overhearing us. Just wave with a smile to the people at the next table. Lift a drink. Like he looks pretty friendly. I don't know about the rest of the group. Just-
Well, considering that Luna is a little bit out of view, the rest of the group does look kind of friendly, but the three dolls just chilling outside, it still sends a sort of bad vibe. But they raise their own cups to you and just focus purely on their conversation. Every now and then, stealing a glance at the dolls.
There's a certain quiet spot around our part of the tavern because everybody seems to shy away on the other side of the tavern.
yeah, it's just slowly thinned out to that part of the. No one's dancing on this side.
Hmm.
But there's, I mean, look, I'm obviously just theorizing. I was just a little bit pissed off by Mike earlier. I think someone like that ought to be taught a lesson. And we are trying to develop a reputation around here. It doesn't seem like he's got all that many friends.
Have you considered introducing him to some scorpion or snakes? Maybe they will find friends.
Well, this is kind of what I was thinking. Just more, not. I mean, arson might have been a bit of an extreme word to use, but I was just thinking on a little prank. I mean, I could make it rain inside his shop if I wanted, but I mean, releasing some snakes and scorpions into the store would be hilarious. I just worry about the innocent people it might get. And then he's just thinking, did we ever find that kid that's been basically doing that?
Alright,
My
you guys
brother's
left a doll there.
to
I forgot.
follow the kid.
I will just remove a doll.
Okay, cool. So we haven't checked up on that yet. I was sort of misremembering how far we actually gone down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I had forgotten that you had left a doll there to keep watch.
Yeah, like told the shopkeep that I'll leave like 2 inside the shop, and then 1 would be outside to like check where the kid runs off to after he gets quote unquote scared by the 2 dolls that were left inside the shop, to like follow him to see where he has like his den or like safe haven or whatever.
Alright, I had completely forgotten that all 3 of the dolls were there. Whoops.
It's all good. It's all good.
Alright. So as you guys are talking about Mike and his shifty ways and plotting a somewhat, I don't know, the revenge. It sounds like you guys are plotting a revenge. With as you're doing that, Yanni, you arrive to see the bustling tavern, and again the tiefling at the counter just kind of waves at you like, "I'll be with you in a minute. Just give me a moment." Just rushes off to another dude. They are
Don't worry about me. Well, somebody's in a rush.
Yeah, Naran waves at you as you come in.
Oh. See, you didn't keep far from the door.
Well, it's nice to have a quick exit.
Very wise, very wise.
Also, the tablecloth is blue, and I couldn't resist.
Seems to fit the theme, doesn't it? Yep.
He just
Excuse me?
brushes his hand across his face, and he's like, "Indeed."
Excuse me? Pardon? Pardon?
Scarlet kind of growls a bit as you step over him.
Yep, so... Sorry. That was your tail, wasn't it? Alright, sit myself. It was like, apologetically, like, bow my head to the Drake. So, what did I miss?
Oh, we're just chatting about awesome. Potentially hurting people. You know, the usual.
Arson?
I just pointed Rain.
Sorry, is the music bot working for anyone else?
It is dead for me.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay. I think. All right. Yeah. Sorry. Rain will just say, "Well, I mean, again, that bit of an extreme. Look, I'm the last person that's gonna set things on fire, but I was thinking that guy Mike deserves a little bit of a lesson, don't you? He really tried to rip the ring out of us on that one."
Oh, revenge on the swindler. Hmm. Well, I am of the firm belief that hmm, whenever somebody is doing something wrong, there is always the option of paying back with the same kind of coin. So maybe we could swindle him instead. Hmm?
That's not a bad idea.
Well, yes, Yuna was just saying that she's some sort of noble. I suppose that applies to both of you. A more diplomatic solution would definitely be preferable.
Oh, oh, yes, of course. We can definitely swindle him out of some money, potentially ruining his business, either through peer pressure or very nasty reviews, or uh, whispering the right words to the right ears. But hmm, that might be a little bit much. Hmm. He
Yeah,
did.
look,
Go
I'm
ahead.
not suggesting that we salt his fields or anything. I mean, we're trying to develop a reputation ourselves here, and it seems like we're probably not the only ones he's screwed over. That's sort of where my mind was going with this. Some people might actually appreciate us taking him to task.
Oh, a nobleman would definitely never dirty their own hands unless it is their benefits. So, if it is to our benefit to actually get rid of this wicked and twisted scoundrel that seems to be, well, stealing money from the fair people of the town, then we can do so. But if it would reflect poorly on our reputation, which isn't that great at the moment, um, we could perhaps try to figure something more, you know, on the hush hush.
Hmm.
I like the sound of that, a horde of children definitely, I mean, with you guys as backup, would be possibly the most terrifying thing I can think of right now. But what if we were able to, I don't know, find new management for Mike's? Management that we control? I mean, we met that alchemist last night. I don't know. What do you think, Kola? You think she'd be a good shopkeep?
A very good question. Haven't seen her. Sleeping. Maybe not, but she could be good to you.
I mean, some of them seem like they're pretty busy, but I just think if we're to be building up some kind of a reputation, and if we're trying to make money doing it, I see no reason why we couldn't end up in control of the general store and make it better than what they're being offered in this town at the moment. But hey, just an idea. I'm just throwing it out.
I mean, personally, I think the best way we can, make ourselves known is do a heroic action, like killing a giant monster threatening the town or something. I don't think screwing over a small shopkeeper is going to really do much.
It definitely wouldn't do much for our reputation, but it would help put our minds at ease. He just like extends his hands and rests his mechanical elbows on the table with like a click clack. I would like to point out the fact that he still needs to deliver some goods personally to our pyramid.
Oh well, that is a good point. But I also I'd just like to. I mean, I think it could really be useful if we controlled some of the market here. This is rather a bustling trade port, and I think to be able to help people, which is the goal here, I'm assuming, I think that would be a much easier way than through the temple of these sort of angry archaeologists. They don't seem to know what's going on any more than we do at the moment. I just think we should be making plans to actually affect some change in this place. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I was just thinking if there's someone around here who might make a better storekeeper that we could befriend, that might work to our benefit.
It is definitely a topic worth of discussing.
And there's a market full of people running their own stores already. I'm sure some of them wouldn't mind having their own actual building. I mean, it's the first place we went to. I'm sure that's the first stop for many travelers. But we may also have more pressing matters at hand. I'm not entirely sure. How did your stuff go there, Yanni?
Oh, I had the good Goliaths of the blacksmith uh, ascertain just the, well, amount of damages that Mike has done to our budget. And apparently they are quite significant as the silver, and he makes like the air quotes with the puppet hands. Uh,
that he sold to us has been rather fake and brittle metal instead, and the blacksmith did not have enough silver to cover the cost for the felony. I did manage to leave word with them, however. Whenever a silver shipment will arrive in the city, they will procure it for us, and we will, well, directly buy it from them instead of having to, well, peruse the shop once more.
All right, and it's now that I'll say, actually, remind me you guys' passive perceptions.
I think
13.
Rain has the highest.
17 over here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 15 for me.
14.
Anyone who has below 14.
I do have a 13.
Oh, hello, welcome back. Welcome. Didn't realize you joined. Alright, so only one of you has a stat below 14. Damn, okay. So everyone but Lily will notice that a tiefling is kind of just hiding on the corner, as even though it's pretty noisy in the tavern, she's not making a good thing or a good attempt at hiding, and you guys get the feeling that she has been listening in.
Hmm. Yeah, Neuron is currently leaning back in his chair, and he kind of just bends over backwards a bit, and just looks at her and is like, "And what are you doing?"
Nothing, just sorting out the shelf. She pretends to be moving one object to one side and another down a level.
Really? I can just give a look to the party.
Would you like to join us? We were just uh, celebrating a little bit.
It's now that you see the original tiefling that has greeted you just walks past and is like, La, stop bothering the guests. Come, we have work to do. And the tiefling that you now know his name is La, just kind of like, yeah, slumps down, is like, and with a heavy sigh, it's like, ah, all we do is work. That's what we need to do to live. Come. In a defeated slump, she walks with her sister, and now together you guys can see that they are pretty much identical twins. The only thing that is really separating them is the way that their hair is styled and and the side that the horn is sticking up. Those are the only two noticeable differences. Other than that, nearly everything is the same, as they both walk off to continue tending to their tavern.
Hmm. Seems someone is wanderlust.
Maybe you're right. It does sound like they're understaffed. She doesn't seem to enjoy the work so much. Maybe there's people around here we can help.
I do not mind perusing with the different tables. Maybe find a job or two.
Well, we were told that this would be a better establishment than Mike's, and they would know where to point us in the direction of if we needed to make contact with local shops that won't actually screw us over. So maybe showing some good faith by helping out, at least for the night or for the day, might give us some leverage.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Shall we go hit the dance floor, split up, go chat to some people in here? Or do you think we should just speak with the tieflings?
think throwing a net out wide is probably more advantageous than a pure single focus. Splitting up might be a good idea.
I'll keep my ears out for any interesting rumors. As he says this, Neuron will stand up and begin making his way to the north side, just to take a seat at the bar and just listening out for rumors as he walks.
All right. And the rest of you, if you are doing something, just state it now, and I'll go through you guys one by one.
Brian will stand up and offer a hand to Miss Valentine and say, "Would you care to dance?"
Mm.
And then he'll whisper to Cola, "Oh dear, she's still muted. I think I'm getting rejected."
The
Miss
problems
Valentine.
of of the lower sub-being. No one would dare reach Cola. Was those that has never heard of it, never existed.
All right, well, Miss Valentine, join us when you can. Come on, Cola, I'll dance with you for sure. And he'll change his stance from like asking her to dance to the more like putting his hand out in a more feminine way, just
The
waiting for the
Grand
wind.
Cola shall grant you the honor of dancing.
Off we go to the dance.
All right. Rain, as you are walking with Cola, you have to kind of like lean down to the side to accommodate the difference in height between you two. Thankfully, because you are made of water, it doesn't affect that much with your back.
There's a bit of a puddle behind me as I've just made myself slightly shorter too.
Ah, nice, nice. So now, you, how short do you want to make yourself?
No, well, I've technically used the charge I would need to do that, so he won't. He'll he'll be basically at full height, but
All
he's
right,
just it's more his knees are pretty flexible.
all right. Okay. So, who shall I start with first? You know what? Because this is going to be interesting, Rain and Cola, you both take each other's hands and walk to whichever dance floor you can try and find, which, given the size of this tavern, you should find one, but it seems they more accommodate the tables than actual dancing and celebrating. So you kind of just have to find a empty space for you to actually enjoy a dance.
Where is the music coming from? If there's music in here, because that's we'll try and go there.
Cola, the great Cola starts to lift his feather and snaps, and using prestidigitation, create a tone.
All right. Well, I will say that there are actually two bands of bards in this tavern, as it's so massive that given the activity, if one band plays on one side, no one on the other side could hear the music. So you've got two bands on both sides of the tavern just playing away. So you can choose front or back. That sounds bad. Anyway.
So where, like on the map?
All right. So I'll say that the very first um group of bards is right here by the entrance to give a lively feel as you walk inside. And the second one is towards here at the back, just in this open space.
Then I think we'll go to the ones right here because everyone else went to the other side. So we'll cover this side of the tavern.
All right. So you two turn around, look into each other's eyes, and you start dancing away to the music. Cola, you use prestidigitation to do what exactly? Cola?
Hmm. Just creating what is it called? Like just making it look like we basically a spark of shower. What's called like a shower of sparks falls over us, looking like so we looking so dazzling.
Alright, you use prestidigitation to make sparkles fall down from the ceiling next to you and Rain, as to almost give you guys a sort of magical feel as you're dancing away. A
Yeah,
few of the
Rain.
Hmm?
As Rain's like um doing his little martial arts dance, he's also going to start bending some water from his flask to just turn to mist on the floor around them, so it looks like there's a smoke machine. Just add to the atmosphere.
Alright. To Rain, you cause a sort of mist to form around you two. Is it cold or hot?
It would be a little bit chilly, I guess, but it would just be just a light mist across the floor, nothing too spectacular.
Alright, good. So the mist just kind of falls to the floor as it turns the area around you. You cannot see the wooden floors of how dense it is, but it just makes it almost seem like you're dancing on the clouds with the stars falling down from the night sky. A lot of the patrons now are watching you too, as some of them are a little bit confused that a water being is dancing with a small owl. But the rest of them are having a good time as the music starts to get more lively. They kind of clap to the beats and clap to the rhythm of you two dancing. I'm going to ask you both to make me a performance check, and given what you've done, I will say that you have advantage. Go, love, what the hell?
Man,
How?
I do it perfectly. 2 4 2 4 2 4. That's actually like the base one. See,
Oh my
2 4 6. Like and like
You
two
guys
four
have been
six.
busy.
That's like perfect.
uh,
We're not the charismatic ones of the group, but we're trying. We're trying.
okay, hold on. I need to recompose myself here. Ugh.
Is Cola like doing the robot or something? Like
Of course,
It's
Cola
doing
doing the robot.
it's doing the chicken.
No, he's doing the puppet.
No. So,
it's the sprinkler, but with the like sprinklers haven't been invented yet, so it just doesn't look like it makes any sense.
mm, so to you guys, with all the stuff that you have done, to you it seems like a magical dance. You're both in rhythm with each other. People are admiring you. But from the outside, Rain, you are like doing the robot, just kind of doing your best to almost seem robotic. And Cola, you are doing the chicken dance.
I'm saying I'm twerking.
It's working. Okay, that's even okay. Uh, yeah. What you what you guys thought would be a kind of entertaining moment is entertaining, but not for the purpose that you thought of, as most of the patrons are just staring like, what the hell are those two doing? And the rest are just laughing at your expense.
Yeah, Ren thinks he's totally like they've totally charmed this entire crowd, and he's just like pointing at people in the crowd, like uh, thinking that they so on their side. But he's having total fun. Yeah.
All
What are
right.
we supposed to be doing again?
everyone just acts like we don't know them. It's like, nope, nope, we didn't come with them. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you see Naran taking a seat at the bar, looking across the room, seeing this, and he just like starts to cower a bit.
Okay, well that was a good laugh for me. Thank you. Um, let's move on to Yanni.
Yanni would walk to the other twin, seeing Nerlin and his sister go to the first one. Which one was the one that actually spied on us? Was it this one?
No, that was the other one.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Uh, well, sorry to disturb. Are you tending to a patron?
Oh no, don't worry. I just finished serving him. Can I help you with anything? I did say I was going to get you something, didn't I?
Yes, but you rushed off in such a hurry. I am definitely fine. Do not worry. I wanted to tell you that there was nothing in particular that I wanted, and you didn't have to bother. So you know.
Oh, well, I mean, you can give me what you want now. I can quickly make it for you.
Oh, no, 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 worry not. I only came up because I overheard your conversation with your sister, your twin sister. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I perhaps surmise that you are a bit understaffed?
We are? She kind of just tilts her head in a innocent confusion.
I think at least me and some of my compatriots would definitely like to lend a hand, if anything, to in a show of good faith and as well new faces around town that are uh, most definitely in need for some good contacts.
Oh, well, I'd really appreciate that. It, why are you offering or suggesting that?
Uh, well, as I said, we are new to the town. We are a recently formed group of adventurers called Mythfits, and we need some pointers. Somebody that knows the goings on of the town, how it works, how it ticks, how it clicks. And we were pointed in this direction after we went to the blacksmith. The kind Goliaths from there told us that the Twins Tavern was the best place for us to, well, make ourselves acquainted with some shopkeepers and, well, having some friends.
Oh, well, they're not lying there. Almost everyone in town comes to our tavern. It's always busy.
Ergo, why we would want to lend a hand. At least to assist and, a favor for a favor.
Oh, well, do you want to help now?
He just like looks over at Rain and Cola, and is just like kind of cringing underneath the mask, just like, yes, please. I would rather do something else right now than be seen with those two.
Oh, do you know those two funny ones?
I just like realizing that he blew his his cover. I, yes, they are part of our group.
Oh, she just kind of thinks for a moment, like, and leans closer to a whisper. It's just, are you embarrassed by them?
Slightly, is it too obvious?
It, it kind of is.
I mean, look at the dancing. Uh, the left step is not supposed to hit the right foot of the other. Uh, mm. It kind of hurts as somebody that actually has a bit of experience in, well, dancing. This is painful to watch.
Hmm. Well, how about I save you from your agony and pull you away out of sight of that. And if you want, you can start now. If you can start helping now, I'd really appreciate it.
Of course, of course. I could bring some extra pair of hands, but they are a bit indisposed, so I hope that one extra pair might do the job. And he just like reaches inside his bag of holding and pulls out his Steel Defender.
She kind of just steps back as the steel defender gets deployed. It's just, oh, oh my.
She can carry quite a few plates with those wings of hers.
I can see that, but she may not do. I'm no offense, but she has looked in the mirror, right?
Why, yes. Isn't she a thing of beauty?
Oh, I'm not denying that, but as you start to see the patrons that are closest to the steel defender just kind of start shifting away when they notice her being deployed. She doesn't fit in this kind of environment.
Uh, well, if you think she is too much of a disturbance for the patrons, she can definitely clean the plates in the kitchen or help in the kitchen somewhere where the patrons are out of her sight.
Oh yes, we can do that. We can. We can. Let's do that. Yes.
All right, lead the way.
Okay. She leads you and your steel defender away towards the kitchen. As she walks past, we'll move on to Ninarin and Yuna. What are you two doing?
So as Neuron was walking from the table to the bar, he would have been listening out to see if he can, catch any information, any rumors floating around the tavern or anything like that.
Roll me a perception check, please.
Sure thing.
Back by that way.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome back.
Join.
No worries. We'll get to you in a moment. All right. 14. So you get up to this bar and you can see that the twin that you heard of, named La, is still busy attending to some of the patrons by the bar, but majority of them are kind of silent, just enjoying the music. You can see their feet tapping, their head just bobbing, and they're just silently enjoying their drinks, listening to the music. You do hear the two gentlemen there by the fire, kind of talking politics, and one going, I don't think the King of Nanarin is actually going to attack. Well, why not? It's simple. He doesn't have the resources. I mean, think of it. They've been fighting wars longer than anyone, but eventually you have to stop. And last I remember, they haven't fully recovered the last war that they fought in. Yes, but you must remember, they are very, very well suited for battle. And they just keep going on talking about, especially the politics between Niloris and Delegata and the rising tension there. You do hear a sort of crazy person on this side just kind of mumbling to themselves. It's too difficult to make out clearly what they're saying, but it's just a rocking back very, very quick mumble. What do you do?
Alright, so there's some rising tensions. Okay. So yeah, Neuron will walk up to the bar, probably get an ale while there. As she approaches, though, he'll give her a nice smile and just say, "Hey there."
Hello. How may I help you?
So he looks around and says, "I'm looking for some rumors, any information floating around that you might be able to provide." Naran just slightly slides a gold piece over. You heard anything interesting?
She looks down at the gold pieces. Why so much?
It's a single gold piece.
Yeah.
Information is valuable, and I take great value on it.
Okay, well, she takes it and just kind of slips it into a small, like, chest pocket. And she just leans forward. Well, last I heard, the Sand Riders are actually having quite a bit of trouble taming their worms. It's been told that a few dozen of the worms have escaped and are now threatening trade across the desert.
Sand Riders. Alright. Thanks. And he gives a small wink. I'm assuming she brings him his drink.
She giggles with a wink. Is like, is there anything else I can get you?
Just an ale, thank you.
Right.
And Aaron will continue listening out for any rumors or anything like that.
Yuna.
So Eunice just kind of looking around, also trying to like listen to conversations, but at some point she's gonna try and catch Law when she's not busy.
All right. You see
Kind
that
of
she
beckon her over.
okay. You see that she just quickly attends to the two men talking politics before you see her just kind of slowly walking back to the bar. You get a feeling that she doesn't have anyone to serve right now, and now would be the time to call her over.
Miss Law, can I have a moment of your time?
Oh,
She'll just kind of wait.
hello there, interesting patron. You can see she's looking you up and down, just taking in euphonies. How can I help you?
It's. I've got a bit of a curious inkling. You were listening in on our conversation earlier, and I was kind of curious. You don't seem like like this environment is really where you want to be.
uh, I don't know what you're really talking about. She gives a sort of nervous laugh.
I know that my appearance can be quite off-putting, but I assure you, I may look creepy and rough on the outside, but I mean no trouble. Just curious of what sort of things you've heard and what kind of things you want to be doing. I mean, you were listening in on us for a reason, I presume.
Well, it's just adventurers have such interesting stories, and I was hoping that you would be talking about one of them. But it, all I could gather was that you had a talk with Mike. That's pretty much it.
Adventurer stories. Well, we don't have, well, our little group doesn't have too many right now as we've only just recently gotten together, but we have managed to do quite a bit in that time. We've killed quite a few bandits just recently, some sea lions,
Ooh,
did
please do
some
tell me
underwater
more.
diving.
Oh. And what did you find?
Bandits. Oh, well, we found some pretty fancy wine in a chest at the bottom of the sea, and a little bit of gold, but mostly it was a very interesting experience to just go underwater and see all of that wreckage. And the sea lions that we fought were, well, quite ferocious. And she'll point at like a little spot kind of in her upper chest area where there's still the remnants of like the gash from when the sea lion nearly one shot her.
She just stares at you at one or with wonder instead of fear this time. As she's getting more and more intrigued with your story. It's like, oh, how did you survive?
Well, thankfully there were my friends there to defend and distract, and I pulled to a safe distance, and I actually got the killing shot straight through the heart on that last one. I'm quite good with a bow.
Oh, I can imagine. Um, could could you show me how good you are?
I'm not against it, but here, there's quite a lot of people. And, well, the other people here and probably your sister wouldn't appreciate stray arrows flying around.
You see, she kind of just
But
saddens a
I'd be,
bit. Sorry, continue.
but I would be happy to demonstrate some of my skills to you when things slow down or when you're off your shift
Uh, I, I'm
tonight.
I'm not off my shift until the sun sets, and I haven't seen what time of day it is, so I don't know when it will end.
I assure you the sun will set, and provided our group doesn't get caught up in some other kind of hassle, I can return tonight.
I would, um, I would very much like that. Just a lot of these patrons are the regular customers, and no offense, Jerry. She looks at one of the men at the bar. They do get kind of boring.
I may convince some of my friends to join me if they're not too busy either. So, look forward to that.
I will, I will. And with that, she'll just give you a like jug of ale on the house and go about her business with the other patron.
Yuna looks quite pleased with herself.
All right, we'll move to you, Lily. Oh wait, did I hear someone was going to do something? I feel like I heard someone.
No, I think I opened my mic.
Ah, okay. Lily, it is now you. So you walk up to a gentleman and a half elf busy chatting at a table. What do you do?
What are they discussing?
Right now, after witnessing your party entering, sitting at the table closest to them, and leaving, they are primarily talking about you guys. Whereas you hear one of them while you were approaching is like, "Did you see that fucking doll, man?" It's like, "Yo, man, fuck, that was scary shit." And they notice you walking. It's like, "Oh, shut up, shut up." Hi.
I say hi. She's even more scarier when she's in battle.
Uh, I'm sorry. Who? Who?
The doll.
Why? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I point at Yanni. That one. You see?
They both like slowly turn towards Yanni and just gulp like, uh, I'm sure she is. Huh.
She dispatched a pack of sea lions who was harassing the fisherman area on her own.
uh, Make me a deception check with advantage. Seeing on how they are pretty terrified of Yuna right now, and a statement such as that isn't fully unbelievable. Oh,
26.
bloody hell! Yeah, they are believing every single word that you are saying, as they're just darting back and forth, looking at Yuna, just making sure she's not getting closer to them.
So, how are you doing this evening, gentlemen?
Well, we were enjoying ourselves, and not anymore.
Oh, don't worry. She is nice and gentle. Unless you are on her bad side. Are you?
Uh, well, we don't know you. You're her friend. Are we on our bad side?
Mm, so far, no, but be careful.
Okay, okay. Oh, that's good to hear. Um,
So, I am new in town. Maybe you can help me. What interesting things going around in the city?
well, what specifically are you looking for? I mean, every city has their kind of interest.
What is interesting about the city? Or what's going on at the moment in the city?
Uh, well, Bob here can agree with me that the latest rumors are the bloody sandworms that have been causing havoc outside. No one really knows how many, but it's getting on people's nerves. And then Bob pitches in at this point. It's like, oh yeah, and the fact that we haven't seen our royal representatives in what, 5 years? No, I don't think it was 5 years. No, I think it was 5 years. We haven't seen them in a long time, and it is scaring people. So that's another thing.
Well, the good news is that we are going out to deal with those sandworms. So be sure that you will hear some good things, especially with my friend there. And the royal representative, do you know why they are not showing up?
Well, we We are just told that they're sick and that they're still recovering. We have no idea why not, or like why they're not showing up. We we don't know anything. That place is locked down. Like no one has been in or out.
Hmm. And with them out of the picture, who's the one handling the city daily things, orders, or daily issues?
They both just look at each other and then look at you. Just we actually don't know.
Can't be, or the city will be in chaos. There must be someone who's issuing orders here or there.
Like I said, we have no idea. Uh, we haven't heard of anyone stepping in for the king and queen.
So who's commanding the soldiers then?
So, from last I heard, it was a general. He doesn't really give his name out, so no one in the city really knows it. We just
Mm,
know him by the general.
The
Mm.
I make a mental note about this information to share with my friends. Do we need to know anything else? I'm sorry I came late. I'm not sure what we had discussed already. So
And well, right now you actually know a little bit more than your party, seeing on how the only rumor that one of them was able to get was to do with the sandworms and the prize intentions, but you guys already knew about those two kingdoms. So you know a little bit more when it comes to the king and queen and the kind of mystery behind the city of who's running it and who's controlling the army.
okay.
Hmm.
Is Koala Rain still dancing?
Cola Rain, are you two still dancing?
Well, yes, Rain would like to. I'd like to sort of turn my attention to the crowd as we've been doing this, and start trying to get a bit of insight on the kinds of people that are around here that are watching. I'm just trying to see if like what kinds of people hang out in this tavern, if it's like fishermen or if these are like military type folk. Um I'm just trying to get a sort of sense of that, and then once I've done that, I'll ask Cola to go head to the bar and hopefully meet up with Miss Valentine.
Right, I'll give you a choice. You can either roll me an insight check or perception check.
We'll go with the insight. That's
Alright.
oh,
No,
that is
I'm
a natural one. Kind of enjoying this dancing too much. Is it? "Yeah, these people seem cool. They're clapping."
Yeah, to you, there's just no one else around you. You're just enjoying your time with Cola.
Yeah, he just thinks that all of these people have a great appreciation for good dancing, and he'll say
Mm.
he's he's completely misread the room.
I mean,
He'll
can
after
you
that.
really focus on anything else when you have the great cola in your presence?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Uh, s- Speaking of which, plane he mentioned, are there any or someone look like an official?
I'm gonna ask you to choose between insight or perception.
20?
Oof, okay. Looking around, you do get a sense that this tavern is actually used by almost every type of person in the city. You see a few nobles casually talking at a table. You see a few fishermen laughing and singing along with the bards. You do see a few sort of military men just kind of taking a break from their shifts, but you don't really see any officers, like high-ranking soldiers.
Which table has the nobleman?
And yeah, we'll say this table. I don't have tokens for everything because that would just be a mess, so you're limited with these tokens.
Do they have drinks?
Of course they have drinks. Why would you go to a tavern without any drinks? I mean, come on.
No, maybe still they're waiting for the order or something.
Uh,
Want to approach so I can just eardrop what they are saying, but not to look like I am eardropping. Like no, just listening in on what they are saying.
hmm. I'm going to say make me a deception and a perception.
17 deception and perception.
Yeah.
22.
All right. So you walk there. That is where a band is, but you you kind of play it off like you're just going there closer to listen to the music. You kind of move your body with the tune as to almost fool the nobles into thinking that you're just there to have a good time with the bards. And so they don't really mind and just continue what they're saying. And it's really just from what you can gather, family matters, as one of them is concerned about a daughter not being able to marry another noble's son for more wealth and gain. It's nothing too serious.
I don't know. I am. Was what nobleness.
Sorry, I didn't really
No,
understand.
I just mm, let's say I know about noblemen and how integral they are about their marriages and their alliances and so forth. No matter where you go, they are all the same.
All right. We shall move to Yanni. We haven't been to you in a bit. So
Yes.
while all of that has happened, this tiefling has led you to the kitchens where your steel defender almost naturally goes to the sink to wash the dishes. You do see one or two chefs just hastily preparing meals, but they're too focused on what they're doing to actually pay any attention to you or your defender.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. As the tiefling just kind of smiles, like, "Uh, well, if you need anything, please do tell me. You can ask these two fine gentlemen for help. They will gladly help you. Um, yeah, thank you for helping."
Of course. I'll make myself useful in the kitchen, and hopefully I can add a little bit of a something to the food tonight. Or today.
Well, you guys did rock up at the tavern at like midday, so yeah, it is still day.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
So I'll leave the steel defender to take care of like dirty dishes, and I'm gonna try to like get in on like the chef's business and try to like help with the cooking.
All right. I'll say that you start off by like leaning over one of the chef's shoulders, as they're just like, "The fuck do you want?"
Oh, I offered to help the owner of the tavern. Um, so, since my appearance can be rather disturbing to the rest of the patrons, we decided that it'd be best I stick to the kitchen. Don't really have that much experience with food myself, but I am a quick learner.
Okay, well, so if you want to help, I guess you can bring me the chides over there. As he points to a sort of herb hanging from a small string.
Aye, aye, chief. No, like, dart and grab it for him.
Alright. I'll say that because you did explain to them that you're not really that suited for cooking, they won't let you do anything. They'll just order you around the kitchen telling you to bring them this or take this to the other oak. And it's just a constant back and forth. You are running. So I'm actually going to ask you to make me an athletics check.
Ooh, athletics.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Ugh.
Oof. Yeah, we'll say by the end, I'm not too sure how long you guys are gonna stay, but by the time you guys decide to leave, you are destroyed. Like
Seeing
even
as I like stop, like begin to slow down as my like physical body can't handle the stress of the work. Could I use like my puppets, like Alex and my like the ones that I'm using as magical items, to like send them out around the kitchen to bring them for me?
yeah, I'll say you can. Although Alex will have to leave the knife with you, so he doesn't seem like a small puppet dashing to the chefs to kill them with a knife.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cool. So after I'll say an hour and a half is how long you are able to last with the chefs ordering you around. Until eventually you have to use the puppets that can move to kind of do the work for you. They struggle a bit, but they're puppets, so they don't tire out very quickly.
Haha.
Alrighty. And I see that some of you are moving back to the main table, so
Indeed.
I will ask, what does the group want to stay here until the tavern kind of quiets down? Or what are you guys planning?
I mean, some downtime is not a bad idea. Share what we've learned.
Alright.
Rain will grab the two more shots of sake and just sort of show one to Cola as soon as he's still dancing, and just gesture back to the table like he's heading back.
Cola quickly gets back to the table.
I'm assuming this is it's quite Arabian. The entire area is quite Arabian, right?
Like
Yeah.
with the sorry?
Yeah. I could see.
Yeah, with the closing of the day, the tavern almost seems to get more lively as the time or the sun gets closer. And Rain, I was going to ask you, but you did like continue a little bit. Can you and Cola make me a Constitution saving throw with advantage? Okay, yeah. Yeah, you both are able to handle your liquor pretty well. Yeah, that's all I wanted to see how well you guys can handle it.
Yeah. So I want to ask, because it's like a quite an Arabian themed area, can Neuron try acquire a hookah?
A hooker.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the way you think, Nira. I love the way you think.
Okay. I was not expecting that. Hmm. I want to say that you need to do like a check, but what do you check with that?
I mean,
Well,
I'm assuming
Oh,
times like this, rent it out.
yeah, there's lots of places that do that, like a shisha lounge, and these little rooms that we're sitting in look perfect to have a shisha in the middle of that table.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Hmm. You know what? I'll say, yeah. As the days get closer, more people get in, so the hookers, as you say, find an opportunity, and they do come into the tavern. They don't really go during the middle of the day or at the beginning because it's too much work for them. They want to sleep in and all of that. So that you do notice quite a few of them coming in, and you are able to acquire one for yourself.
And if you tip whoever give you the hookah well, he can add with the tobacco mixer some weed as well.
Oh, I knew that the fates had brought us together for a reason. Long live the Mythfits, everyone. Yes, how much do we need? I've got like 8 gold left. I'll spend it all.
Are you talking to the hooker right now? Or what? Are you talking to your
I
mate?
was talking to Miss Valentine after her little suggestion.
I am just giving you general information. Do whatever you want to do with it.
I swear to God, we're gonna end the night using rain as a makeshift bomb or some shit.
Oh my god! Yanni, you're a genius!
Oh,
I don't know where you are, but you're a genius.
You're welcome! Yelling from the kitchen.
I mean, of all the dolls that you've crafted, I think the one that has a built-in bong will be the best one. But yeah, I agree. We should definitely hire one of those for the table. Although, are we still planning on going sandworm hunting today, or?
Nah.
Because I think
What's
that's the best way to start. The best
Are we?
preparation you could.
Yeah. Are we placing anything interesting in the hookah? No.
Yes, please.
DM? What's the time of the day?
it is. I'll say that you guys have been here for roughly 5 hours, so it is currently like 15 past 5 in the afternoon. Roughly there.
I point to the party. We need to go to the temple and check that if Mike had delivered the items, and we make sure that he delivered the item that we need, not just some crap. Because from what the Goliath said, he tend to be a shifty character.
Wait, which Goliath was shifty? I missed
No,
that.
no, no, no. My the store owner, what his name was, Mike, the tobacco man.
Yes. We were discussing perhaps playing a little prank on his shop or something of that nature. Why did you have some ideas?
No, I want to make sure the item that he said that he will deliver to the Bearman are the same thing that we require, same quality, not just like the cheapest things.
Yanni did
Can
actually look into that. He said that half the silver was fake. I think we may need to source it from somewhere else. Where is Yanni, by the way?
Like with almost comedic timing, one of the pans just rolls out of the fucking kitchen. And you see like Alex just dash out, like still tied with its hands and legs by Yanni's strings, grabs the pot and drags it back in the kitchen.
I think that answers your question.
By the way, guys, there is one more matter that I had learned. The royal couples that ruling the city have been missing for the last 5 years. Rumor has it that they are sick, and there's a certain general who was technically ruling the city while they are recovering.
You sure that general doesn't, you know, keep the ruler sick? Dead.
Well, the two guys that I spoke with, they said that it is odd that they okay, they are the royal couple. They should have the best physicians to see their well-being, and taken 5 years, especially both of them, tend to be suspicious. And their palace is on lockdown. If they are sick, why the palace is under lockdown? Unless they don't want anyone to go there.
Mm. Shall we take a quick break right there? Because I would like to do something real quick. So let's take a quick break. It
Okay.
has been 2 hours, so
Sure, sure.
I think a break is deserved.
Awesome.
Back in 5 or 10.
Eh, when you're back,
Same,
you're
same.
back.
Oh, okay.
Just don't take 30 minutes. I mean, 15's the max.
I'm gonna go grab coffee.
Be right back.
Beans. Just to confirm, the things that escaped, they're called what? Sand Riders, right? No, he's not yet, never mind. Where did Lily go?
Look.
Where did Lily go? She just dropped out. He just.
What? Say again?
No, what's his face? Janelle just dropped out. I don't know where he went.
Oh,
Hmm.
I've actually got a spike tubbly going right now.
Hmm.
I'm actually smoking the real thing right now.
I also have my own version.
Oh, yeah, a shisha or like a vape.
Something a little more.
Just the straight up old school. Well, I don't know old school if that's the term. But Hubblies were created like by miners in the first mines.
Yeah, mine's
I have
currently
my.
in the room. I would bring mine, but it takes forever to set up. So.
I've got this little baby bong. It's shorter than my mic.
That's actually probably closer to what the miners used. You ever seen the original shishas? They're like those solid brass little, like, it's weird. It looks like a lamp or something.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
That are shishas a weird or like a
Hmm.
commonly seen thing where you guys live?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, that I can imagine.
Hmm.
I was I can't picture Denmark being full of people smoking shishas. It's just
They are just beginning to smoke the small shisha. That thing for vaping.
Here in the US, we have a. I've never been to one myself, but we do have scattered around like hookah bars.
it's huge here. I mean, not so much with like public places to do it, but everyone's got one.
Yeah, a lot of people I know actually have one. Yeah. I enjoy mine. I smoke it every now and then, but not too often.
You know, I smoke mine all day, every day. Mine, I've been smoking it since I was like 14, and it's fair to say it's an addiction.
My cousin had a hookah, and she'd always bring it over when me and my cousins would hang out. But she'd never just do it like with the normal stuff. She always had to mix weed in with it.
Yeah, that's become me now.
Made for some fun times.
If I'm if I'm around other people, I always need to give them a warning. Oh, it was really bad. The one day we were in Sidwana and we're at this bar, and this girl comes up to me. She's like dressed in promotional. She was like doing some promotions job there with a vape, and she's like, "Oh, I'll let you try mine if you let me try yours." And all I said was, "Oh, mine spiked." And she just looked at me with the most horrified look on her face, like, and I was like, "No way, like it's just weed." And she's like, you know what? On second thought, she walked away.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I
How long
fucked up
ago
that
was that?
social interaction.
How long ago was that? Just out of curiosity.
Like 4 or 5 years ago now.
Okay, yeah. So weed wasn't as
Yeah,
accepted.
look, we were in Sidwana. I don't think it was.
Yeah.
You're in a little like dive town. Most of the people there are into something. but we
Yeah.
were at the market jaw, which they do not like. I was
Oh.
standing in there with a lit joint, and then the owner walked in, and I saw him sniff at the air, and he just starts looking around, and so I just like palmed it and walked out very calmly, and then he just started like shouting at one of my friends because he knew that that's where it was from, but we nearly got kicked out of there a couple of times.
Oh man, I love Mark Jewell. It's my favorite.
By the way, did well, that guy you talked about in Saturday came Sunday, or like get together?
Yeah, of our Sunday game. Yeah, he's back. Why do you ask? We were talking about Guk the other day because we were like talking about all the things that have happened in Odyssey of the Dragon Lords and like the lore of Thylea, and then I was explaining Guk to everyone.
And everybody was surprised at how his charisma.
Yeah, no, we came to the conclusion Guk may have been exiled from Thylea, not left by choice. Because compared to the other Thyleans we've met, Guk is a very unique being, to say the least. Has the music bot crashed again?
Probably.
I think it has.
On man.
Fire Fred boat.
Then again, like how many Thyleans live? Like 10 times their own normal life experience.
Yeah, I think any D&D character that's finished a campaign has probably got quite a few stories to tell compared to the rest of the inhabitants of their homeland.
Except
Like,
Vine.
or even Iron. I don't know what Iron's been doing in the afterlife.
Oof.
Crying over and fearing that someone put up like a gravestone killed by a little girl.
Well, he doesn't give a shit about that. He had a pretty unceremonious death. I don't think we actually got to the point of. Oh yeah, his body was like kidnapped or something.
His body was taken, and because he was an elf, there wouldn't have been a funeral. But there was one of the characters mentioned that the shinobi school had let off a few paper lanterns for him.
Ooh, I didn't notice that.
So yeah, someone cared, but yeah, it wasn't even his body at that point. Really, it was like,
Man, I had so
yeah, what
many
a way to
plans
go.
for him.
I need to restart the spot. Has someone else got music they want?
See if I can find something.
All right. Is everyone back?
You might still be waiting
There we
on
go.
Lily.
I am here.
Nice.
I think just play the same thing you were playing earlier, Dev. It just works.
Cool. Oops. Pasted totally the wrong.
Lily, are you back?
Her, his BBEG just woke up.
Oof.
So.
Oh, good luck with that battle. Oof. Ugh. All right. Well, shall we continue?
Indeed.
Nice, nice. All right. So you guys spend the rest of the day in the tavern, drinking away, enjoying the hookah that you have hired to dance on the table for you. That will be.
What? No,
Oh,
that's not what we hired, bro.
oh,
Wait,
what
what?
did you hire?
A
I like
shisha,
it.
like a hubbly bubbly.
Oh shit! Ah!
That's why you reacted like that when we asked.
Yes.
I wondered why you were so horrified that we wanted to hire a shisha. I'm
Oh
like, we just
god,
want
I
to
thought
smoke.
this was I thought this was going in a bad direction. Oh,
Man, we didn't
Yeah,
order
he
a
just called
Twi'lek
it a
at least.
hookah, you know.
okay.
Oh, that is the
Not a
best
hookah, right?
misunderstanding I've ever seen.
And like
Uh,
that was what I heard. I heard
Okay.
Porco. I heard a hookah also. And that was why when I saw that picture, I was like, "That's weird."
okay, okay. I hold on. I need to recompose myself now.
That's why I was like, okay, I need a break. I need to go figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do with this.
I'm just imagining it now. It's like, yeah, a hookah, put it on the table.
Like, yeah, it wasn't a strip club before, but I guess it is now. Where do yes and DM? Well done.
Okay, that was a very, very
That's why.
bad misunderstanding, but I'm
That's
glad that it's
that's why we
not
first
what I
the
thought it
gifts.
was.
That was the best kind of misunderstanding. I don't know what the fuck you want.
Okay, hold on. I'm actually like slightly lightheaded from that. I don't know what happened. Okay. Um. Well,
That's why I
thankfully
was.
it's not that. You guys have
Why I
just
was
been.
asking if it was pretty much a very Arabian area because like that's where the hookah came from.
Yes. Okay, everything makes so much sense now. Um. Okay, so screw my previous understanding. You guys enjoy your hubbly, busy attempting to smoke some rings, make your corner of the tavern pretty misty almost. And you guys have a nice laugh while chatting. Some of the conversations that you had were serious, more noticeably the ones having to do with Mike and how you're going to get some payback on the man. But the rest were pretty light-hearted as you slowly start to notice the light coming through the windows starts dimming down as you get a sense the day is coming to a close. You do notice that the twins are actually kind of gesturing people out to like preempting their closing time. And by the time it is fully dark outside, every single compatron in the tavern has left as the tavern is now closed. But you guys were given the exception as La told her sister not to usher you guys out, as she was going to be given a show of skill later. Much to the sister's dislike, but she agreed to it. And Yanni, you are now free from your prison of labor. So you all see Yanni just kind of.
Just like the steel defender is like lending him a shoulder as he just like slightly limping, just panting to himself. Whew. Uh, Never would have imagined that the cooks back home did such arduous work. Oh, whew, whew. You found appreciations for those that provide for you. Ugh.
uh, the tiefling that gave you the job noticed your little display and with the steel defender kind of just helps you along.
Oh, oh, thank you. You're so kind.
Your friends are waiting there by the table that you first joined in.
I definitely hope that they enjoyed the food. They didn't order anything. They're smoking. Ugh. It's like looks kind of deflated.
I think we're going to be pretty hungry pretty soon, not going to lie. Is that Yanni walking out of the kitchen? What? Yanni, what are you doing in there?
Well, some of us were partying and apparently very much enjoying themselves. I was working my behind off to actually make some, connections and actually do a favor for these fine patrons.
So you were
Uh,
working on your back. Well, you
uh,
can't call that working. Well, is that more pleasure?
not that kind of. The behind ain't.
No, Coda, it's a shisha, not that kind of a hooker. We told you. So, did you bring us some food? Uh, Getting a little bit peckish, actually. We weren't sure how much longer we were going to stay. It looks like things are quietening down a bit.
I didn't bring any food. I barely brought myself. But Victoria, if you'll be so kind. And the steel defender trots to the kitchen and search for any food that was left in there.
You, all of you now see the two twins just patiently standing kind of outside of your table, not really joining in as it's not their place. They've never really joined any of their customers at the table before. They've just always served in. So they're just standing there kind of wondering what they should do.
Come, you two. Sit with us for a bit. You've been working your tails off all day. You deserve a break.
Uh, you sure? Um, I don't know. La, should we do this? Oh, come on, Lou. It's not a big deal. They offered, so come on. You've we've both worked really hard. As you see, La just nonchalantly jump onto the table and walk next to Yuna, and La just kind of fits in over there. No, that's Lou. Okay, real quick. This is La. This is Lou. I hope you guys don't get mixed up.
I mean, they are twins, so.
Hmm. Actually, you should get mixed up. Okay.
That's the fun.
Allah responds with a decline to your offer, Ray.
Oh, you don't smoke? I assumed. Uh, I mean, with your heritage.
Oh, no, we tend to set a presentable image to our customers. I mean, it wouldn't help if we are slightly intoxicated on the job.
Well, isn't it technically off the job?
Uh, yes, little owl, but I'm much prefer not to do that.
Oh, no pressure, no pressure. But you two are from the Hells, I assume? I mean, I'm sorry, I haven't met many tieflings before. I'm very interested as to where you originate.
Lou just kind of it, yeah, Lou just kind of takes interest on your question and answers for La. It's like, no, we were actually born and raised in this city. I mean, I'll parents might have been from hell. I'm not too sure.
Well, I have heard some people complaining that it is hot as the hobs of hell down here, so maybe it's not that far away.
Maybe. So, La tells me that you guys have stories or want to show us something.
Now. You should have. I don't know who has told you, but you would have just asked. The great cola would have showed itself to you. I'm very big.
Well, as you pointed out, it's the closing. You're not really busy right now.
I may have volunteered to well, I told her a little bit about our little bandit and sea lion
Oh,
job,
yes.
but and I was gonna demonstrate my skill with the bow and thought maybe you guys would also like to show off. No pressure. Just
Oh, a
gonna
little
just get on a
demonstration. I
draw.
like the sounds of that.
A great cola has no reason. Surely, greatest. And should he decide to, only this tavern obliterated an instant.
You see La just kind of staring you down, Cola. Just, I'm sorry, but I don't think that is actually possible.
Oh, he's quite strong. But you can pull your punches, can't you, Cola?
The great cola always pulls his punch, else his enemies would be destroyed not only physically, but also spiritually. The great cola, please grant his mercy, the afterlife.
Oh, just another arrogant customer. That's it. See, you get a feeling that she's just going to kind of shut off everything that you say, Cola, as she's dealt
Is
with your kind before many a time.
And none will, I guess, show him of his satisfaction. One now, do you see our great cola?
Oh, please, the owl is showing off again.
You see La just kind of stand up with joy and just clapping for you, Cola. It's like, ah, yes, just very intrigued with the power that you're showing, and you just see Lou just full staring at you, just so you can grow your size. Wow, wow. It's a bit of a change that I'm sure most of you have noticed, the after hour Lou is not really the bright, inviting person that you saw at the beginning when you first entered. She's more skeptical now that she's actually given a break from work and is allowed to be herself. So, in other words, Cola, she is still not impressed.
Well, one of two, better than none. And one day you will surely understand the greatness of Cola.
When that day comes, I will eat anyone's hat. Eh?
Oh, it's just Lee. I'm sure he'll be back now.
Ah, alright. And with that, you just see Lou just kind of turn back to the table, now completely shutting Cola out of her attention. As you see, La just kind of turn to the rest of you, like, oh, is there anything else you guys can demonstrate? I'm very intrigued right now.
Yeah, well, Scarlet can do some tricks. And as Scarlet's busy chewing on some leftovers that the Steel Defender bought, Neuron looks over and says, Scarlet, sit. And he immediately sits in a nice comfortable position. And now roll over. Roll over. And rolls over, and it's actually fairly cute, but you realize that it can definitely tear your throat out.
And the twins do give a small clap for you as Large just finds your little Drake too adorable to actually admire the skill or talent that you have put into training it.
Beyond that, I'm just good with the bow.
Um, don't mind me asking, but from from what I can see with your attire, and in fact all of your attires, where are you guys from? I mean, it's pretty obvious you're not from here. I did hear some of you saying that you weren't from around here, so I'm a little intrigued on where you are actually from.
Well, me and my sister have come from the Kingdom of Alfrom. It's been a rather long journey, and these arid lands are not treating us too terribly well, but I think I can speak for both of us, and the fact that we are definitely enjoying this sort of new experience, right, dear sister?
Absolutely.
You see, Larch is now. She was intrigued with Cola, but now she's just giving you guys her full undivided attention. She just stares at you, like, wait, you're from the Alfron Kingdom?
That indeed we are.
Oh, uh, I hope you don't mind me asking, but what is going on over there?
Uh, well, there are some strange goings on with our homeland. Ergo, why we decided to, well, leave. Um, hmm. It's like thinking to himself for a little bit. This might be a bit much to take in all at once, and, well, rather incredulous to some. But we are not too, let's say, strange back home as we are here.
Oh, so there's more of your kind?
Oh, no, do not mistake us for the riffraff. We are, especially my sister here, one of a kind, or two of a kind, in a way. Um, it's much more the physicality that we are presenting ourselves with is not too uncommon back home nowadays, but those aren't necessarily people as we are. Our home is a very different place from that which we remember ourselves, so I'm afraid I cannot speak at great lengths about it beyond what I could see as we were leaving.
Oh, I see. Um, so is everything all right there? Because I'm not gonna lie, when uh, you hear nothing from a kingdom for 4 years, things do get a bit disheartening.
Uh, I think things are fine at the moment, and I say that with as much caution as I can muster. And with all due respect, it is true that our kingdom has cut ties for 4 years, as it has struggled with some unexpected change. But you over here appear to have been struggling with change of your own. Your leadership appears to have been gone missing for 5 years, so I'd say we are more in times than your king and queen or royalty, let's say.
I Yes, you do have a point. And you? She looks to you, Nunaran, as hearing the interesting stuff from the two doll twins. She's now more intrigued to learn more about you guys.
Well, I'm currently on a bit of a journey, as well. I'm a warden, if you, from the Naelorus Kingdom up in the north.
Lou just kind of turns to you, is like, wait, a warden?
Yes, I'm not sure many have heard of you, heard of us. Known as I'm part of an order, known as the Wardens of the North, if you will.
I remember seeing one of your, how do I describe, uh, brothers? Sisters? Is it that kind of order?
No, we just refer to fellow members as disciples.
Oh, well, I do remember seeing one of your disciples a few years ago. So you from Neloris?
Yes, I've been on quite the journey, as you could tell. A lot of sailing.
Wow. Okay. But please do tell us more about this order of yours. It's
Well, as you can tell, in Naelor's kingdom, it's very cold, and it's not very kind to initiates up there. You have to survive out in the wilds for a long time before you even accepted as a squire. It's a lot of hard training, but we make do. We're some of the most respectable scouts in up in Naelorus.
oh well, I hear it's terribly cold up there.
Yes, it is very cold. I'm still getting used to the heat as he rolls up his sleeves a bit in the tavern.
Oh,
Oh, Nero, you should let me know if you ever need to cool down. I understand that feeling all too well. Does everyone train drakes and dragons where you come from?
Oh no, this is just this is actually exclusive to our order. These little drakes over here grew up with us. Yeah, they're given to us once you become a squire, and it takes a long while for it to grow, but it can be very powerful. We eventually start riding them once they get big enough. And as he says this, he's busy just petting his drake on the head, just scratching it behind the ear.
oh, I, I see. Well, if you are so closely related to a form of the dragon, it, do you perhaps know what is happening with the dragons?
Well, do I know?
Mm, make just make me a history check just for interest's sake.
Bang.
Natural 20, okay.
Clearly, I do know.
Yes, we'll say that you actually have a lot more insight to the rumor of the disappearing dragons, as you know that over the past few years, dragons have actually been hunted down by a mysterious group. The group, unfortunately, no one has been able to find the name of, but you know that they are being hunted down.
All right. Well, I've heard about them being hunted down, but I still don't really know what group is actually hunting them down. I would actually like to find out if there were anything to follow, but currently the trail's gone cold.
That's pretty interesting, though. Do you think that's got anything to do with what our little mission? I mean, surely if the dragons were all gone, wouldn't that mean all the gods were dead?
The great cola would never die. So no.
Perhaps that's why you've been sent on this holy quest, to stop that from happening. Who knows?
True. If all of his underlings were dead, Great Cola would have to work even harder to ensure the world wasn't destroyed.
Oh, well, if you don't mind me asking for a favor, as me and my sister have actually had a nice encounter with a dragon once.
Oh, really?
Uh, yes, we can't remember his name, but he was very, very kind to us and helped us very, very much. So please do your best to save the dragons.
I definitely will.
Where was your encounter with that dragon? If I may ask.
La just steps in at this point. Like, oh, well, we were traveling across the desert after we had received word that our shipments or supplies had been hijacked by bandits. And in our family, we don't let these things slide. So Lou and I went out into the desert to find this shipment, and unfortunately, we were unaware that we were being tracked, or yeah, tracked by a sandworm. And by the time we realized what was happening, we were almost eaten. A, a dragon came, flew down, picked us off the ground before it could swallow us whole, and brought us back to safety.
Could you tell what type of dragon was it?
Well, I remember his scales being a a dark brown. Um, they didn't shine or anything. They kind of just matched some rocky terrain almost. So I would assume a desert dragon or something like that. I don't know my dragons very well.
Was it like made of rock or sort of more scales?
It it looked like the scales were supposed to mimic rocks. It definitely wasn't rocks. I can safely say that.
What, more like a gemstone?
Oh no, no, not at all. I think it was just the scales colored it to look like rock.
Chromatic dragon?
I'm not too sure what a chromatic
What
dragon
was that?
is.
Rock isn't a color.
I did say it was a dark brown.
Yes, but that is not one of the colors of chromatic dragons that I've ever heard of.
Oh,
And I don't think a metallic
Could be.
brown.
I mean, brass or copper. Those are metals,
Mm,
sort of dark brown.
yeah, because chromatic helping, I don't think so.
Nero, have you ever heard of a dragon that can camouflage itself like a chameleon style?
See, can I make a history check or nature check or something? DM.
uh, yeah, go ahead.
Nature check, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. 16.
Hmm. All right. Well, your order being what they are and who they are, you are fairly knowledgeable on pretty much most of the world's natural beasts, and more specifically the dragons, as they are your drakes are related to them. And you do know that there is a large variety of dragons, some of which actually believed to be myths, as not many people have seen them like in person and have successfully recorded of their existence. It's mainly just been people spilling rumors, like the old sailor saying he saw this dragon flying through the sky, and people
Okay.
not really understanding or like matching the descriptions to what they know and what has been seen by multiple people. But your order does believe that such things as desert or sand dragons do exist.
All right. So it's very likely to be. You said a sand dragon, right? Sand or
Hmm. Yeah,
yes,
a sand or desert dragon,
desert
one
dragon.
of the two.
Well, could, very easily be a sand or desert dragon. They can blend in very well with the desert.
Is that a different thing from a sandworm?
I don't know. Is it a DM? Is there a difference?
Greatly, because one can fly and the other cannot.
And the dragons tend to call themselves the Great Worm, but they are not worms.
I'm sorry, what?
No, the dragons tend to refer to themselves as the Great Worms. Great Worm.
Pyrim,
Yeah. So
basically.
WYRM. That's
Yeah.
better. Yeah. There you go.
Ah, Warren.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
I mean, look, anything long and sort of serpentine, There are plenty of people that have confused them for dragons. You could just throw a snake through the air and some farmer would think it was a dragon that had come to bless his crops or something.
I suppose. I mean, it was a long time ago, so maybe my memory isn't what it used to be.
Oh no, miss, I wasn't suggesting that your encounter was not real. I just mean that what one considers a dragon might not necessarily be a dragon. You know, there are many sorts of primordial beings that roam these lands, so I can't say I'm too familiar with the deserts.
I feel a little excited because if we are going out to deal with the sandworms, maybe we get a chance to see or meet a dragon. Maybe.
Maybe?
Oh, there's a chance.
Sounds exciting to me.
By the way, isn't the having this big business, the bar, just the two of you, is a little bit too much?
What do you mean?
I mean, we saw you struggling between running around, between ordering here and there, and
Well, it's not really a struggle. It's just very busy. I mean, it is a business. We can't slack off.
I guess it's only the two of you. You don't have any other family here around?
Oh, we've got two chefs. They come every morning and start the prep work, and we got two other. I'd I'd say volunteers, because we don't really pay those two, but they enjoy helping us and serving drinks. I mean, it's a difficult business, but we managed to get by.
Hmm.
I see why the Goliath has sent a will direct us toward you. You seem like a good, hard-working fox, unlike that shifty tabaxi.
You mean Mike? Yeah, he's probably the worst of us, but we can't get rid of him, so he's here to stay.
Yeah,
Do you want to get rid of him?
yeah, what would you do if you were able to get rid of him? Hypothetically, of course.
Those would be walking off a cliff.
I, are you guys suggesting murder?
No,
No,
never.
we are just talking about being very interested, literary stuff. Bottom of
What they call it?
the cliff, and not being too.
Well, business-wise, I heard they call it hostile takeover.
Um, well, if anything had happened to him, we wouldn't give a second, glance or anything. But we don't want to wish anything bad upon others.
Of course, of course, of course.
Which, which reminds me, I do remember hearing you guys saying that you were on a quest, so why bother with him?
Who
If he's
knows?
bothering the people around here like you, then that's a problem for all of us.
And we had the misfortune of dealing with him, and from what I heard, few items that we had ordered are not the same quality that we pay for.
Wait, so you actually bought some things from him?
Yes, we are new in town and we walk into his shop. He looked decent. We got full, let's say. We are we're tired.
And how exactly would you get him to retire?
Well, uh, we were considering something along the lines of a good scare. Either that, perhaps something strong enough to make him reconsider his line of business, or, well, paying back that which was inflicted upon us. Perhaps tricking him into buying goods that are not worth their price, or simply make him go bankrupt.
Yeah, we should fill his chimney with all his coins and then set it out like a fountain so that the rest of the market can pick up everything he's stolen from them over the years.
Well, from what you get, we don't like being fooled or take advantage of, especially with money that we work hard to earn.
Damn right.
I I guess that's understandable, but I'm sorry. It's just the idea of it of like intentionally trying to hurt someone's life. It's just
No, 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 no. We never said anything about hurting his life.
uh, oh no, I didn't mean as in like killing him. I mean like granted he's a fucking bastard, but his store is his livelihood. Without it, he's pretty much ruined.
I have
So
to
just
agree with this. The guy, it sounds like an ass. I haven't actually personally met him yet, but I think either making him ruined is not the best idea. Seems like going a bit too far.
It is a wide world. He can set up a shop wherever he likes. I think that this lovely community deserves someone better as their general storekeeper. That's all.
and
I mean no harm
who
upon the man.
who would take his place?
Do you know anybody that might be looking for such a job? Someone with the skills?
I mean, there are plenty of market owners, but none really with the skills to handle that many items. I mean, majority of the people just sell what they worked to sow. I mean, you get the farmers, they sell food. You get the miners, they sell the ores. But Mike, he sells everything. He's able to. It's, I
How is that, by the way? Who are his connections? Where does he get his supplies from? Because it's clearly not the local marketplace. The Smith didn't seem to want anything to do with him either.
You see the twins just actually look at each other for a moment. Like they generally look at each other, question, and he's like, and then they turn to you. It's like, we actually don't know.
Hmm. I think that is what we need to be investigating, because when a river is not flowing properly, you must look upstream to see where the blockage is. And something tells me that old Mike is creating quite a blockage for this little community.
So what you either move them forward or
Wait, just call out. We are not going to kill or threaten his connections. That seems like an asshole move.
we would bring them. Oh,
You
no.
were implying it.
Everything it is doing
No,
about it.
let's.
About it. Anyway, then all would be criminal. Of course, the clever people. What I was saying was, let's say you hate them, and then if but the clever, that way you wouldn't get. That way he would be, or buy from. That way we could put that the wares he was selling was acceptable outside.
You guys do really hate this Mike guy, don't you?
This might
Yes.
try to affect the cola. That the ratio system hittable, but big cola forgive the French many people.
Yanni raises one hand at this point, like kind of draw the attention of the twins. You two mentioned not knowing where one of the biggest shops in town gather their resources.
Yes.
Isn't that odd? And I mean that in every sense of the word. I am safe to assume that this Mike hasn't set up shop recently, yes?
He's been here for around about 3 months or so.
3 months?
Yeah, he's managed to make a name for himself pretty quickly. Hey,
Question, sorry. That incident with your missing shipment, when was that?
that was 3 months. ag- No, that
Mm-hmm.
we had a shipment missing 3 months ago, but the one I was speaking about was a few years ago.
Well, here's the thing. The bandits, whatever things that they will steal, they can't use. They have to sell. And who's better to sell to whom than a shifty character like Mike?
Are you implying that Mike stole some of our shipments?
Could be. I don't know. Maybe. I expect everything from him, to be honest.
It is a very, well, a highly likely assumption to arrive at. And there is something else as well. Uh, this Mike fellow asked us to, well, scare away a child that was giving him trouble. But if there was no trace of anyone supplying him, could it have been that these children are perhaps used as simple, well, carriers for his goods? Maybe one of them has been rebelling against the authority of Mike. That's why he wants us to shoo him away. Certainly, some beggars would go unnoticed, especially if they are rather young.
Agreed. You see, the two twins are starting to get overwhelmed with the theories that you guys are coming up with. As the more you delve into the mysteries of Mike, the more they seem to start to believe in all the misdeeds that you're describing.
This
Is
guy
it?
operates a general store, if I'm correct, right? Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
No, that's a, just wanted to clarify.
I agree with Koala first part to find his suppliers, but I believe in giving them a better business offers than what Mike is giving them. Depends if they are legal or if they are not. Legal suppliers or not. If bandits, then that's another deal.
Well, if if you guys don't mind me asking, I'd very much like to get off. Well, we would very much like to get off of this topic. Um, it,
Uh, sure, sorry.
it
Just one last thing. What's the shipment that went missing 3 months ago?
uh, well, if I remember correctly, it was um, exotic wines, a bit of food as well. I think basic food like potatoes, lettuce, tomatoes, things we can't really grow here.
It was via the sea or a caravan?
Uh, the most recent one was from the sea, but the one I told you about was a caravan.
Do we still have the wine that we find at the bottom of this? I'm asking the bottom.
Actually, yes, we do. Um, Lou, you wanna get one of those wines? Lou just gives a quick nod and walks off.
Lily's just asking about the wine we got at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, I thought you were actually
Yeah,
asking for a proper
yes.
description.
Good to compare.
Yeah, we can compare.
Oh, okay, then I'll be right back. As Lou walks off. She did not stretch over the floor, so don't worry.
I have
A
video
few
evidence that proves otherwise.
crap. After a few short seconds, you see Lou returning with a bottle that looks pretty similar to the ones that you guys found in the sunken ship. This is the wine that we ordered.
Hmm. Guys, who have the bottles?
You know, nudge Yanni.
Well, this looks mighty familiar. And he reaches inside the mouth of the of the doll's head. That's the bag of holding, and pulls out the bottle, one of the bottles of wine.
Oh, do you, do you get from the same supplier?
Oh, I think we got from the same
Sort of.
shipment.
Wait, what do you mean?
This was at the bottom of the ocean. We went on a little expedition, as I believe we mentioned previously, and part of our findings down there was this.
And there were destroyed crates of food in the wreckage, I remember seeing.
You see the sisters just go into a deep thought as they start thinking. And then one of them just realizes, we were supposed to receive a shipment not too long ago. We just thought they were running late.
Well, it appears that they'll be running very late.
They will never, never arrive. Well, How many bottles we got, Yani?
How many bottles do we have?
We
We
have
had 9, I think, because Cola gave one of them to the captain.
quickly go into my notes because I know I wrote it down somewhere. You had 6,
yeah, that was what
and
I was remembering. I remember
and
6
then
and 5.
yes, because you gave one to the captain. Yeah, so you
And
had
I'll
6.
pull out the remaining 4 and place them on the table.
We believe those are yours.
This is. You see, they now start to really start panicking as all the evidence from your conspiracy theories are connecting, shall we say.
Haha!
Though we were sort of suspecting that there was a good chance it was the sea lions, these sea monsters that have been plaguing the bay that took down that ship. Did we think that that was bandits?
I don't think the sea lion have the power to take down a ship.
That's true, but I mean, if there were more of them, perhaps. They did say that some sort of sea monster had been attacking ships. I thought that's what we fought off.
Yeah, I thought this the same. They didn't say the sea monster attack a ship, but something was giving the fishermen troubles,
Who
and they see
knows?
something in the water, but they couldn't tell what is it.
Who knows? Maybe some had issues established decided to remove the ship hopes of making this tiny place close up. Or maybe they
Not,
hope to
mm,
retrieve it.
not even retrieve it, but look at it this way: any misfortune that you will suffer, someone else will benefit from. So if let's say someone want expensive wine, but you happen to have less quantity of it and they happen to have more, or they can offer it even at more expensive price, and the only one we can think of is Mike, unless you have another person here in your mind.
As far as I know, we're the only one that sells this kind of wine. And it's now that some of you notice that Lou has actually left your table to kind of like gather and compose herself.
I'm sorry, did you know people on that ship?
Uh, no, far as I remember, these bottles come from bloody names. Remind me, how do you pronounce the rich kingdom's name? Yas
Yazusha.
Yazusha. They they come from Yazusha, so we don't really know any of the crew. We just order shipments, they bring it, and then we pay. That's it. They don't know any of them personally.
Lily kind of look around, then hearing Yazusha name, then just act normally. Listen, if we already have few things to deal with, I think, with Mike. If we happen to discover that he's the one who behind your missing shipment, or he's the one who's been just mm, putting us, mm, disturbing your business here, we will deal with him. as we see fit. No harm be done, hopefully, and we'll report to protect you.
Well, I can tell you now that Lou and I would be very grateful if you did that. So,
Is there law enforcement in this town? Like, is there somewhere that if we did potentially find that he was guilty of a crime, he could be locked up?
well, of course, you've got the town's guard. They're pretty much the law and order around here.
Well, perhaps we should go and pay a visit to them. They might have information on the goings on of bandits around here. I mean, we have been getting our bounties from the barracks, so I imagine those kinds of jobs are generally outsourced to people like us anyway, but it might be worth asking.
Well, if you do go, you'll have to go tomorrow.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Yeah. If you want, we can offer you rooms.
Want to stay here or we want to go back to the bear?
Well, we were supposed to gather some supplies for the rest of our people.
Oh, well, if you want, you can also bring them here. We have plenty of space.
Yes. Might actually be a great place for a little base of operations.
Or a little change of pace, if nothing else.
With beds too.
Yeah, I can assume that staying cooped up in that pyramid might have gotten sand in places that you don't typically want sand to get in.
Well, the the choice is yours. The offer is there. If you help us, I can guarantee you a permanent opening for you guys. But I think for now, you guys can stay the night. If you want to stay longer, we will have to charge a fee. That's yeah. It's the least we can do.
Sorry, who was tracking the shopping list that we got?
I think I was supposed to, but I didn't.
If as far as I can remember, you guys did get most of everything that you need from Mike's, but of course the two fake ores that you got had to be re-added to the list, and the things that you still needed were the basic alchemy herb.
Mm-hmm.
So your shopping list is pretty much 4/5 done.
Well, it's too late to get the
Or, or
herbs that we need, so we should just spend the night here and pick that up in the morning and then go check on the.
I agree.
Well, sounds like a plan.
Do you want, I can also show you where to go. I mean, I know of a very nice man who sells some herbs, if that's what you're looking for.
that would be nice.
Very appreciated.
Quite helpful.
I guess we will spend the night here then.
Mm, yeah. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before heading off to an empty bed?
Yes, I will grab Brain hand and take her.
I'm sorry, you cut out there a bit.
No, I said I will take Rain watery hand and take him to the dancing floor where he was dancing with Paula. to show him a few moves because I saw not sure whatever they were doing.
Oh, that would be lovely. I did try to ask you earlier, but you seemed a little bit preoccupied. And notice he's probably looking quite green at this point. Can I make a Constitution saving throw for greenies?
Of course. And I will say, seeing the initiative of Lily, uh, La will actually ask Yanni for a dance to
Oh,
to try and lighten up.
uh, most definitely.
Um, Rain, I am gonna ask you this: how strong was the stuff that you have been indulging in?
I mean, this is probably not too crazy um for Rain, but he did do it in the wrong order. He is at this moment a little bit wobbly, and you smoke before you drink. That's the rule every time. I didn't know they had, and he's pretty fucked up.
Perfect.
I think Narayan's been smoking some as well, so I'll roll him as well.
Anyone else who has been
Ooh.
smoking, go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving.
Yeah, are you? Is everyone familiar with the term greenies? Because
I'm assuming it has to do with weed.
there is a thing that happens to the human body when you consume weed and alcohol at the same time, and specifically if you do it in the order that Rain has done it tonight, and it is not good. That is not a good combo. Never try it because oh man, it's
Yeah,
bad.
I know what you're talking about now. I remember seeing my brother having like a beer or two, and then pulling out the cigar, and it just one puff, and he was gone. I yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, no, I've accidentally put some friends down by going, no, bro, you'll like it. Come on, man, you're fine. And then they lying in the corner, just like rocking back and forth. I'm like, oh, why didn't they hand? Oh, they drank a whole bottle of rum already. Oh no.
Yeah. All right. And
So yeah,
so,
that's Rain right now.
Lily, you take a pretty thick looking Rain to the dance floor, and he's already wobbling, so you naturally assume that he's already in the groove for it. Um, Matt, you are also feeling a bit under the weather, and you prefer not to make things worse by trying to dance.
Yeah, you see, Narayan is currently leaning back in his chair, just massaging his temples a bit.
Yeah, Luna, I will say, because we can consider that smoking and alcohol is poison, so I will say you can roll again to see what you get.
Nice.
Okay, well, we'll say given your natural resistance, you're doing fairly well compared to the other two. I mean, you could feel the effects growing even though you are a warforged, and you decided to actually just stop right there. So you are fine right now. And with the night going ever or growing ever late, the four of you dance to the floor with uh Lily playing some music, also moving to the beat that she creates, and we'll call it an end there.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Hey.
I'm going to be completely honest. I was not expecting to spend the entire session in this tavern.
You never do.
But
Like,
I
hey,
do
it
like
turned
the
out
fact
great.
that we got a session to kind of get to know each other also,
mm,
Mm-hmm.
because our
and
characters haven't
What did
actually
Mike
done that.
do to you guys?
yeah, I'm also shocked that you guys are coming up with conspiracy theories with Mike. I was not expecting Mike to be such
Mike,
a
the
terrifying
terrible
foe.
shopkeeper.
Wait a
Because
second.
wow,
So what he's saying is Mike is actually the BB.
it's looking like it so far.
And just see you behind the GM screen the whole time, like, okay, Mike did what? Okay, yeah, oh damn. He's just meant to be a dickhead, but all right.
That
Bandits, leaders,
that
smugglers, bring now.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. He was just supposed to be a dickhead. But as your conspiracy theories grew, I was like, you know what? Let's just make him even more. Let's do that. So, wow.
This is the thing in D&D. If you tell us that there's a door in front of us, we will try and figure out who made the door and what wood, uh, like where the trees were grown. You know,
Mm.
it's if you don't give us the big sort of, I mean, you probably have, and we've just focused on the wrong thing. That's 90% of the time what happens. Like there's a
Probably.
mysterious stranger in the room, and there's some pink lamps. And we're like, oh, what's up with these pink lamps?
I mean,
And
granted, there are multiple ways you guys can go about to increasing your reputation. And I mean, snuffing out a dickhead in the city? Sure.
Oh no
That's
no
one
no
way
no!
of doing it.
Trust me, this is not about us getting like a reputation or anything. This is just out of spite, like purely out of spite. Like whenever
and
you'd give like a nice shopkeep to players like the Goliaths or these two like twins, we'd be like, oh yeah, we could chill with these guys, we could just talk with them for hours, we could fucking kill for them. But if you have a shopkeep that fucks us over, well,
Mm.
and you keep feeding our suspicion. I mean, he came 3 months ago, 3 months ago. One of their shipment went missing, and no one know who's his suppliers are. So one things lead to another.
He
I think
knows
we
that
were even
supply out
convincing the
already,
NPCs of that.
Wait a second.
Mm.
Can we use that dickhole NPC to kill for these twins? If nothing else, just turn them into.
Did he like just give you guys a bad deal or something?
Oh, no, yeah.
yeah.
So the entire list, he originally, like, ordered 250 gold from them. And it was just basic stuff. Like, sure, there were a few rare items, like, but none of them were that expensive. And they did manage to barter down to, what was it, 200? 200 gold
220.
pieces. 220, yeah. So they did manage to barter down to a lower price, but when Rain wanted some personal items, he charged a lot. So,
Bro tried to charge me like, it was. I tried to get a piece of chalk, a, a flask of oil, and a ball of string, and he tried to charge me 7 gold for that.
yeah.
Chalk is worth like 0.01 gold. Oil is worth 0.1 gold, and string doesn't even get a price.
Yeah.
Maybe he was afraid of string fear.
They should be now. We will go between dimensions to fuck Mike over.
So what you're saying is that we just open a portal to the far realm and throw Smike in there.
I
You
mean,
can't do that?
works for me.
The whole reason we came up with all these conspiracy theories is because he gave you guys a bad deal.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, Rain doesn't want to admit the fact that as the monk he's being spiteful, so he's trying to turn this into a humanitarian effort as best he can. Like, no, we'll help the whole community, but fuck Mike in particular.
I've been trying to figure out what Mikey did, and he just gave you guys a bad deal. I'm dead. All right, well that's D&D.
True, he didn't throw in an undead.
Well, Yuna did bleed for that gold that we spent. So that's blood money.
Look, corruption should be taken very seriously. There's a whole cult dedicated to it in this world, remember?
Yes,
We
yes.
are going out of the city to hunt those sandworms. How about we take Mike with us? And maybe he will never come back.
Oh yeah, we're gonna use him to sandworm fishing. And that way he does some good for the community.
Let's see if, as a cat, he can land on his feet.
Oh my god.
Yes, and then when he lands, the vibrations will draw the sandworms. I like it.
I mean, you guys can certainly try that.
I bought this new grappling hook. I can use it to attach it.
Also, I do want to apologize because I did get a sense of confusion when I was describing the dragon. I do know that there is no like such thing as a desert dragon, the actual
Yes.
proper rules.
Well, can we establish that now, though? Like that you are you using dragon rules? Because there's a lot of sort of lore about dragons in D&D that one would come to expect, and I think especially for Nera, who's as a Drake Warden, I think some of your features rely on some of those things. So
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, if there's